Hey, this is Dan from Ramblin' Ambition, and just wanted to show you some updates. So the last video, if you guys got a chance to check it out, it was me kind of going over how we built a water cabinet. I'll leave a link in the description below to check that out if it's something you're interested in. And so our update is I kind of finished a few things on that water cabinet, and then we got to work on the electrical side. And so I just wanted to show you what that frame looks like and kind of what our battery system is going to be. We'll talk about the battery system in depth once we get the electrical system built, but I did want to kind of give you an idea of where we're going. So if that's something you're interested in, please stick around for the video. All right, so last time we talked about our water system, and I just want to show you kind of some of the things that I finished up with the valving, because we kind of talked about it, but I didn't have it complete. So here you can see my water valves, all three of them in place. And then we have a stub out here that blocks this port off in case we ever need it. And then we did the hot water side. There are two valves. Remember, one will go to the sink and the other goes to the mixing valve for the outside shower. So we got that done. We added a couple braces on this side, one in the center, and then another one in the tank area. And the goal of that is just to make sure that everything kind of stays in place once it gets filled with water, because it's only going to be sitting with the weight of the tank, and we just have those braces in place just to keep it from shifting. And this whole frame will be screwed down into the floor and also into the side of the van. Now let's take a look at our electrical rack. The electrical rack is about 1.5 inches wider, and that is to accommodate 600 amp hours of 24 volt lithium batteries. So let me just go show you. So the reason why we made it a little bit wider is because we're going to have another piece that goes in here that frames battery trays. And there are three 200 amp hour 24 volt lithium ion batteries by Renogy. The reason why we picked these batteries we'll kind of go over later, but the biggest point for us is that it gave us the highest capacity and the smallest form factor that also has all the protections that we need. So it has low voltage disconnect, they're heated, and so we all have, like I said, 600 amp hours of 24 volts, which gives us what would be 1200 amp hours of 12 volts. So that's quite a lot of energy. You'll see that we have the water tank on this wheel well, and then we have the battery stacked on this wheel well, and that puts all of the weight over top of the axle where we want it. You'll see that this cross brace is here. We're going to add other bracing, and there'll be a shelf that sits on top of these batteries. But all of the electrical components will go along that wall, and then they'll also go along this wall. And then we'll have a little bit of space down here for what's going to be an onboard air compressor. We had air compressor on the old van, and so we're just using a twin compressor by ARB. They're great. It'll be plumbed so that there's an air outlet in the back underneath the bumper. There'll be one underneath the step on the door so that we can blow things off, but also to air up or air up the tires after we've aired them down. So we use 10 series again for this framing, and this box is going to set up what will be our bed frame, and I've kind of got that roughed out real quick, and I'll show you what that kind of looks like so you can kind of see what it's like. So we're getting closer. Idea, as you can see, this is 15 series aluminum, so it's 1.5 inches instead of the 1 inch of the 10 series, so you can really see the difference here. The reason for that is just for the weight of the bed. Now our bed's going to move east or north to south, just because I'm super tall. I'm 6'9", so sleeping sideways in the van doesn't really work for me. That's part of the reason why we picked the 170 extended, to give us a little bit more room within the van from the living space standpoint. So we have 4 crossbars. They're going to be spaced approximately 24 inches apart. The entire bed length is 77 inches, so it's really close to a queen size bed. And we'll take some plywood and mount it on top of this 15 series aluminum, and there'll be some spreader bars in between just to kind of help distribute the load. And so that's kind of the setup here for the bed. So we're really close. This will also structurally tie the two boxes together on the top, along with how it's being affixed to the floor into the frame of the van itself. We're using some rib nuts and some screws to make that happen. So it'll be nice and strong and secure, but also give us a nice, as you can see, a really nice garage area for things. We're going to build in a dog crate for one of our dogs. It's going to go right underneath the bed, and then the rest of the storage in the garage will be, or the rest of the garage space will be basically storage. And then our access points for the water system will be in the back, and the most of the access for the electrical system will also be back there. We have a ton of space left for the front of the van, and we're going to put a bench with a refrigerator in it right here, like I showed you in one of the other videos. And then this whole side will be our kitchen, where we'll have sink and lots of cabinets. So that's kind of going to be the general layout for us. There'll be a separate bench here, and then we'll have a table that comes out here, so Emily and I will be able to sit across from each other and eat. So that's kind of how everything is set up for right now, and we're pretty happy with how things are, and look forward to moving forward. So hopefully you kind of got more of a picture of what we're going to be doing inside the van. Like I said, we'll be working on the electrical system, and I'll do a full video on how we kind of put all that together, so you can see us wiring the 24-volt system in. It's all Victron components, except for the Renogy battery, which is a very stable system. We had it in our old van with zero problems. So we're really happy with the choices that we made, and we're looking forward to getting this thing complete so we can take it on our trip at the end of June. So this is Dan from Ramblin' Ambition. If you made it this far, give yourself a thumbs up. Thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for following us along on our journey. We appreciate all the comments off of the last video that we made about the water system, and hope you guys come back and follow us as we continue our journey. Again, this is Dan from Ramblin' Ambition, and we will see you next time.